I wanted to have a chat, a more informal one without any editing or anything, about what it is I'm trying to do and why you may not be aware that you need it, but you do, and why you should want it. Because those are two different things. Knowing you need something and actually wanting it are two different things. And so I think the best place to start would be my quick journey. We'll get my ego satiated and then we'll move on to something else. So when I learned uh, what I call useful meditation, what is really called Vedic meditation, I learned it on August 5th, 2017, and it was probably the most amazing experience of my life. So I was told that it was going to be this secular thing. I was going to go in there, I was going to receive a mantra, and we were going to do a meditation. Boom, I'd go home. That would be me forever. So that just wasn't the case. And when I got in there, the first time they said, "Oh, you need to bring X, Y, and Z. You need to bring some fruit and some flowers and white handkerchief," and it was all to facilitate this ritual to give me my mantra. Whereas, it's a Vedic indoctrination, which is essentially sort of indoctrinating or people into Hinduism by subterfuge, which was what I felt it was at the time. I felt a bit taken back by it. But in saying that, the ceremony was beautiful. I was deeply moved all the way through it, and I had a great experience and went home. In the next 3 days afterwards, I kept returning for hour-long talks to kind of more delve into the understanding of the thing, the theoretical side of it, which was also very useful, but it had pepperings, uh, sort of Hinduism all the way through it. Like, oh, if you want to meditate, you need to meditate east. You need to meditate facing east. So, well, why is that? Well, it's because you're supposed to gather the energies of the sun. Okay, that's a bit bonkers. So what if I meditated to the north? Like, oh well, you don't want to meditate to the north. It's not the best. All right, what about the south? We definitely don't do the south. Definitely don't do the south. Which is mad. So I was a bit disenfranchised and disillusioned with it. And I thought, there's no way I'm going to get my pals to learn this. There's just no bloody way. It's not going to happen. So I waited about 3 years and got as good as I could get at it. And to the point where I thought, I can actually teach people now. I've been doing this practice since then. I haven't missed a single meditation. In fact, I've done way more than you probably should. But you can do way more than the 20 minutes twice a day thing, which is what you're supposed to do. And the way I meditate is 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes before I start cooking in the evening, because you come out the second one bloody hungry. So when I get up, generally I either like to meditate straight before or the shower, or um, just directly after. I think it's best to do it before because you're kind of still loose. I mean, in terms of your consciousness, from your dream states, and coming into the meditation is actually a lot easier if you're coming in from an REM sleep, just waking and then going straight back into it, because you're so very close to that dream state that it makes it easy as hell to get back in there, right? Really bloody easy. And then, like I said, I wait maybe 4 o'clock, which you can tell my dinner time used to be 6, 7 o'clock, and after meditation it's went to like 5 because I want to meditate like so soon that I love it. Like I love meditation more than I really probably should. It's the most wonderful thing that's ever been given to me in my life. Like I'm bipolar, bipolar 2, which means like on the sort of less end. It's on the, in fact, it's the very bottom end of bipolar. So I'm not. I don't have schizoid thinking. I don't always see things, but a lot of the time I just have long ups and long downs. So on one of my more horrible ones, downs, I've done some terrible things, and I've lost my sense of identity. I've lost my sense of self. I've hallucinated and all sorts of things, but last year I had a very long one, a very long depression, and none of that happened. None of that. Like, the only thing that happened was I had a very long, grueling depression. But all the times I meditated, I was free of that. I was free of the very worst states of mind a human being could possibly experience. And that 40 minutes all in of a day, being rid of my own brain chemistry was such a relief. And I think it brought me out, or it gave me the ability to bring myself out of my depression in a way that I've never had before. So I was able to take care of things. I was able to do things. I was able to go shopping, like wash myself, dress myself. All of that stuff that's really difficult to do when you're a depression, or a depressive rather. And but when I'm healthy, when I'm happy, when my brain is working as intended, or maybe it is, but when my brain's working on the normative neurotypical level, then I can work for hours. When I was at my work, I worked for 6 hour shifts, and I wouldn't feel the need to take a break. I wouldn't even be hungry by about 1 o'clock. So I'd maybe start at 10, go straight through to 1, and I would be sort of hungry, but I would eat because it was what I was supposed to do rather than I was desperate. I had so much energy that people would say, like, how do you do this all day? How do you keep walking back and forth all day? How do you keep doing this? It's like, well, I meditate frequently, and it's a deeper rest than sleep can ever provide. Jerry Seinfeld talks about this in one of his bits where he says, it's like, you're not, if you've ever get out of your bed and looked at your bed, it's a war zone. It's like nobody's resting in that war zone. Like, they're just thrashing about in a dreamful nightmare. Like, probably not a nightmare, but it's true. I come out of my sleep sometimes and I get out of bed and think, Jesus Christ, I'm so beat up. Like, what am I going to do? And there's no way I'll meditate and this will work. And every single bloody time I've meditated and it's fixed it. Maybe not always fixed it. Sometimes I need to meditate again pretty soon after that, so I'd get to work and meditate again. And then it'll be great. So, it's a choice of going, well, do I take this 20 minutes in the morning, right, and the 20 minutes in the afternoon? And do I make it consistent? Do I make it work for me in my lifestyle, right? So that goes back to the thing, like, where you've got a spouse and you want the spouse to meditate too. You want to meditate together because it's going to make the experience better, and it's going to strengthen your relationship because it's something you do together, that you practice together, and it's something you can discuss together and see what you're both going through, and see what your own feelings are, because you get to really have a look at who and what you are when you're in this deep state, or you're approaching the deep state. So, like, when you're meditating, it's the spiral. You're going down and down and down, and you're transcending at these particular points. But as you're transcending, it's getting longer and longer and longer. So what is transcending? It's ego. It's free of the ego. It's like somebody taking all of the Freud's 3 elements of the psyche and just getting rid of them for however long they're going to get rid of them. And I don't know about you, but that to me was the most freeing thing I've ever experienced. Like, no shit. It really was the most amazing thing I've ever encountered. And I've done a lot of weird shit. But to do meditation was to learn this meditation, which is 5,000 years old. Like, that's bloody bonkers. It's just insane how old that actually is. And that nobody in the West has this. Not nobody, but, an alarmingly low amount of people has access to this. That's what really freaks me out, because people need this, right? And they may not want it, but they certainly need it. And, like, that's like I was saying, that's my job, is to convince you that you want this as well as you already need this. And you want it because it's going to enrich your life. It's going to make your day better, right? So what more could you actually ask of something? Then it's going to improve your day every single day. So like, that's a hell of a thing, right? And then the other thing is, it can improve your relationship with other people around you who do practice, and even those that don't, because you're better. You're a better person. You're more empathetic. You're more understanding. And I mean, it's not going to make, like, there's some great evidence to say that it's not going to make you a better person. That's true. But I think that's partly due to the way people look at it. You know, it's not just perception, it's also the tool they use it for, right? So it's not just a way to get round your sleep, it's also a way to improve yourself if you're listening to what your brain's trying to tell you as you descend these levels of transcendence. And as you get through these levels, the length of time you're in there gets longer and longer and longer. And you know, I've had meditations where I sit down and go, oh, it's time to meditate. Cool, awesome. I'll sit down and then it's out. I'm gone. 20 minutes, and it's not that I'm sleeping, because I'm aware. It's a strange awareness, because there's no you to monologue it. There's no you to track it and tell you what it is, or what you're experiencing, or to identify things, or to draw attention, or even have attention. That's the weirdest thing. You don't even have an attention when you're there. It doesn't exist. You have gone. Like the observer that defines you is absent for some time. And I don't know what that means. Like, I really don't. But I do know that experience is astounding. And the ripples it will have in your life are even more astounding. If, and only if, you allow them to change you. Because that's the big thing. You can't just do it and expect it to change you automatically. You have to work with it to some degree. Like I was saying, you have to listen to it. And if you do listen to it, and you do listen to your mind and your unconscious mind, because you're going through different levels of your consciousness, and you're seeing these desires that you didn't know you had, or you're hearing these words that you would never think of yourself to say, but then you identify them after you've come out, if you can remember them, and then you'll start to think in more appropriate ways to the situation that you're in at that moment in time. It's taught me to live in the moment of my life, like the extant moment my consciousness resides in, and that's a big deal. I'm still look, it's not made me a superhero or anything like that. It's not even made me a great person, but it has started the wheels moving for me to be the person I want to be. And I don't think you can ask any more of something like that. I think that's a huge bloody deal. And every single person I've taught this to, without fail, has come out going, holy crap, that's worth way more than 30 quid. Because it is worth way more than 30 quid. But I'm not charging what other people charge for it, because that would be 150 quid. And I'm not doing that. Bare minimum 150 quid, by the way, to learn a meditation. Or style of meditation, and receive very little aftercare if you have any real questions or anything. You can only do it at their events that they ask you to, or you can't petition them for help in an email or anything like that. So I've rambled on for nearly 15 minutes, and I'm pretty happy with the way this has turned out so far. So what I would like you to do, if you're interested, is just get in touch with me, right? So if you're a friend of the family, or you know someone who's in my family and you think this is interesting, get in touch with them and go, what's his number? And I'll give it out. I'm not bothered about that. Or you can send me a message on Facebook on the page, the Useful Meditation page, or you can send me an email at cumnockmeditation@gmail.com. So that's cumnockmeditation, all lowercase, all one word, at gmail.com. Does it even matter anymore if it's lowercase or not? Do you need to say that? I don't know. That's how little I live inside this technological landscape now. It's so weird. I mean, I used to be on Facebook every day. And now I really don't care. But I don't mean that I don't care about the people who are on it. It's just I don't care for the way the interactions I have with those people evolves because it's not real. And I mean that in the sense of it's not tangible. Like messages are a different thing, right? I mean, I'm talking about the page, the Facebook page. That's what I don't like about Facebook. But that's enough of that. So yeah, please get in touch, and even if you're just curious, right? Because I'd rather answer your questions than you be sitting going, I have no idea how to get in touch with this guy or why I should get in touch with this guy or if my question is valid. Your question will be valid, I assure you. But you do need this in your life, and I hope that I've done a good job of showing you that you should want it to. Maybe I've not. If I've not, you can always rip me off or rip me a new one in the in the comments. So I mean, all the best. I mean, I really do. I hope you get in touch because it is a big deal. I mean, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this for pocket cash just to cover my time, sort of thing. So I mean, it's £30, right? But it's a £30 90-minute lesson plus you get access to me all the way through whenever you want, right? Whenever you want to have a question or send me a message, that's what you do. You just send it to me straight away. And that's it. So all the best. I wish you nothing but the best in all things, and take care. Bye bye.